Welcome to the show, man. This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast Show. Oh, man, on a steamy, hot Friday afternoon. How is everybody going, man? Long as I'm out of the heat, I am great. But you know what, man? Tonight I am in Florida. So, all you guys that are streaming live with me and you're in the state of Florida, give yourselves a big round of a hand because tonight you're being represented by Ron and Liz Reed from Paranormal Society of Bradenton, Florida. So, hey, you guys that are listening out there, give them a big hand, man. Give them a big hand. Oh, no big hand? Well, I'm pretty sure you guys will do it, man. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
okay.
it. All right. Hey, guys. A couple things that are going on with NSPS TV Paranormal this week. Next weekend, we will be investigating in Burnett, Texas. So, guys, stay tuned for that investigation. And I think Saturday we will be in Austin, Texas, to investigate a mausoleum. So hey, please, guys, check out all the video and trust me. And if you guys see anything weird in any of our videos, please let me know, and I will go in and I will figure it out for you. Either we can debunk it or we can say there's actually something going on there. But in the meantime, forget about me, man, and what I got going on. We're gonna jump right into Ron and Liz Reed, Paranormal Society of Bratton, Florida. How you guys doing today?
Great.
We've been doing fine.
Well, welcome
Hi,
to the
thank
show.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, guys. We got so much to talk about.
They're always
And
in this field.
yes, it is. And you know what? And I'm so eager to, speak with y'all and have some great dialogue. And man, I'm really interested and curious to see what you guys think about the future and the not only the future of paranormal investigating, but the past also on where it's been and where it's going. And if you guys think it's going to be good in the future, we've yet to determine. But we're going to talk about it. So hey, we're going to go to a quick commercial, and man, we're going to jump right into it. So hey, be right back.
Okay.
Huh? What's wrong? Where you going? How much? $7, really? Where's it going? Oh, that's not too bad. Be careful. Oh, Liz, that was perfect timing. Wow. All right. Well, you know what, guys? Welcome to the show. This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. And before I get started, I got to recognize and respect everybody that's out there. There are, you know, so many different platforms we stream off of. So all you guys that are on Kick, Rumble, Instagram, Twitter, uh, YouTube, Facebook, hey man, I appreciate it. All the love and support that you guys have given me. I really appreciate it. I can't say enough If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this because you guys are just as curious about what's going on in the world. So all you guys that are into the paranormal that stream live to my shows every weekend, thank you. I really appreciate it. But with enough said with me, let's jump into the guests and see what's going on. Mr. Ron and Miss Liz, how you guys doing?
Great.
We'd be doing fine, just going through the day and the night.
Mm. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the night, but not
Yes.
just yet. You know what I'm saying? So we are, man, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is not the typical podcast show where I'm just going to ask you guys, some of the simple questions like what kind of podcast, I mean, what kind of podcast, what kind of equipment you use and all that stuff. Throw that all out the window, my friend, because it's not
Yeah,
happening here.
I
It's
mean,
fine.
we're investigators. We don't need to know all of our tools of the trade.
Yeah, you throw that out the windows, man, because I mean, people hear that all the time, and people don't want to hear that. They want to hear oh man, the dark, creepy stuff that you guys have actually been involved with, the things you saw, how do you things, how you feel about certain situations in the paranormal field, uh, you know, the education of it. There is so much to talk about, but let's go ahead and get started with the first question. Why did you guys get started being paranormal investigators? Friends, family. I mean, was it something in the house? Talk to me, guys.
Well, I lived in a haunted house when I was 6. When we moved into this house, I started hearing someone come down from upstairs,
Hmm.
and I could feel them standing at the end of my bed. And being 6 years old, of course, they just covered my head and was scared. And as I got older and my older sister moved out, I moved upstairs, and this gentleman would come out of the attic and into our bedroom and sit on the end of my bed on the edge. And you could actually see the imprint on the bed of him sitting there. And then I just started to see him. He was, and I found out that he was the builder of the house, and he had lost his wife, and he ended up committing suicide because he wanted to be with her, but he never left the house because of it. So that's what got me
Interesting.
started. But if you talked about ghosts back then, you know, people thought you were crazy, you
Hmm.
know, and you could have been in an institute if you didn't watch what you say.
Well, long as it had padded walls and a pillow and a blanket and it was really cold in there, I'm totally cool with it because I'll get a well-deserved sleep, man, because I'm not sleeping at all right these days. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but Mr. Ron, tell me a little bit about yourself, brother.
Yeah, it's the same way with me. I started, in my childhood, noticing things. My first experience was when I was walking behind my house and in between these houses that my parents owned. And there was no one supposed to be living in this house. And I noticed somebody in the basement back then they used washboards. And I seen the water. I seen somebody scrubbing with a washboard. So I ran around to the door and I went down in the basement and there was nobody there, not even a drop of water.
Mm.
And from then on, I had experiences all through my life. My teen years, I did a lot of exploring in old mansions,
Hmm.
uh, Indiana old farms, in Indiana. Uh, and then Liz and we started, we put everything together about, 13, 14 years ago and just started investigating ourselves. Yeah.
Cool. Now, guys, I mean, apparently you guys have been experiencing paranormal activity since your childhood.
Yes.
Now, have things subsided since you guys been investigating? As you get older with time, have things kind of calmed down? Have things kind of escalated in certain circumstances, or have things kind of calmed down for you guys when people come to visit you and all that stuff?
Uh, no,
Not, not,
not for me.
not with Liz. Me, I see more when I review video and
Hmm.
audio. That's when I actually really capture something, and it's very exciting for me, to do
Cool.
that. And it's not every time, maybe out of 13 years, two handfuls, not very many times.
Now, what is your process? You know what? When you guys are going through your video, what is your thought process when you see something that shouldn't be there?
Well,
Is there another camera on it? That's my first thought process. Do
yeah,
I have two videos of this?
yeah, there's something else show up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But when I see it, or my tech guy, he reviews it a lot too,
Uh huh.
and he'll like call us and he'll say,
better look at this right
You
now.
better look at this right now. I just found it." And when he finds something, you listen. It's really hard to convince him. He's
Mm-hmm.
a scientist, by trade, and so he has to have very strong proof. You know,
He's a debunker.
He's the debunker of our group.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Yes, he's
Those yeah, those good. They're good to have.
yes,
yes.
yes.
They.
He does a good job.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Sometimes you hear something on an investigation come across a voice box, and then when you listen to it, it's not the same thing that you heard. So it's kind of funny that, so we always make sure that Brandon, our tech guy, and us go through everything so that we all can make our opinion on it
Yeah.
and what it says. Got a ghost?
You got a ghost back there?
No, I'm hearing music and I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
No music here.
That is so weird. Yeah, every now and then, man, I might get a visitation from someone that they'll just pop in, say hello, and just pop right out. Now,
Mhm.
I'm not gifted. I don't consider myself gifted, but have seen things, and oh man, how can I say? I've seen things I can't explain. Hell, I've done things I can't explain. So, but that second part is on me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. All right, guys. Now, since what kind of gifts do you guys have?
I can walk into a place and pick up the energy right away if there's something there, and sometimes I see them. I don't always see them, but sometimes I do.
Mm,
I
okay.
think since we started doing this, her gift has actually gotten stronger.
Yeah, I think the more you do it, the more
Yeah.
sensitive you
Yeah.
become to it.
Now, okay, Liz. Now, do you embrace your gift, or are you petrified of it?
No,
But
I embrace them. I embrace them.
okay, so is it something that you inherited from
No,
past family members, or is
no,
it some?
no. No one else is like me.
Now, are you sure? Because back in our days when we were growing up, this is something that we really didn't talk about.
No,
Hmm.
you didn't.
So if another ancestor of yours, grandmother, mother, if they did have the gift, do you think they would speak on it?
Well, I don't know because my dad was adopted,
Mm-hmm.
So he was adopted by German parents, and no, they would never have spoke of something like that. And my mom, um, her father was adopted, and he was 100% Irish, so no, he didn't talk about it either. And her mother passed away very young, so I never got to meet her, so I don't know if she did or not.
So it could be a possibility.
Yeah, it could
Oh yeah.
be. I just don't know as far as past my grandparents, I don't know.
Okay, and Ron, how would your
Need to
family members
sneak.
would they embrace what you have, or would they? How would that work for you?
I well, I have one family. I'm the oldest of 13,
Oh wow.
and my sister still is alive. She lives in Texas, uh, and uh, she's not into it at all. She doesn't want me talking about it. She doesn't follow our webpage. Uh, now, as far as my dad's side of the family, I think they would. Uh, I knew my grandmother, and she was very spiritual. You know, they worked. They were coal miners at first, and then they moved here to Florida, and uh, they moved here when it was wild. It was, the 1921, 23, and it was wild. So, it was like cowboys and Indians almost still here where we live.
Oh yeah.
And I spent a
Cow.
lot of time with her, and she talked a lot about my dad. My dad died when I was very young, and she talked a lot about my dad, seeing him, in her dreams and stuff like that. So I think my dad's side of the family, yes. My mom's side of the family, no. They're very German, very Catholic. They wouldn't embrace it,
Mm.
not at
Eh,
all.
oh, cool. All right. Now the question that I have for you, Ron, is why did you guys take so long to become paranormal investigators?
Well, we have our kids.
Mm-hmm.
We had to raise our kids. And we have lost our son. He passed away very young, and that's about the time we really started looking into it. Not right away, but a few years after that
Mm.
is when we actually started looking into it more. And then we did a few ghost tours. We went to St. Augustine, very haunted city in Florida. Uh, and we just continued from there. That's how Liz developed her ghost walk. Uh, by her us doing those ghost walks that we did in St. Augustine and elsewhere, she says, I could do this, and she did, and we were already investigating before she
Mm.
started this ghost walk, and she just, we just stay active now. It's almost a everyday thing for us.
Interesting. Most of your visitations, do you know who they are? Are they family members that are long gone and come back to say hello?
I've had a friend or two uh, here at this house out in the back porch uh, that they've been here. They know this place, but they've passed, and they- they've stopped by and talked to me. Uh, my mother, yes, she's here. My mother is here.
Hmm.
She watches over my daughter, I believe. She's like her
Okay.
guardian angel. Uh,
Now, when they speak with you and you guys, how long does a conversation usually last?
we can go on, like out on our back porch for 20 minutes,
Mm.
with conversation, and then they it just kind of fades.
Now, do you think that is the limited time they can speak with you, or do you think it can be much longer if they choose to?
It could be longer.
Yeah.
I've seen somebody go for an hour and a half talking to a spirit.
Now, is it okay? Now, when you talk to spirits, what is the general conversation about?
Well, first you ask if it's male or female.
Mm-hmm.
Then we kind of go with the year they died or the year they were born, and we'll do like the 1700s, 1800s, things like that, and then we'll limit to down to or take it down to 10 years, if we get an answer, and then we'll go through the alphabet as far as did your name start with the A, B, C, like that, and whatever it lights up to, we just try to, go with that. And sometimes we do have history. We have a researcher, and sometimes the name will match up with something.
Mm. Now, when you mean light up, are you communicating them with through a device, or
We
is
have
it with, or was it on, or is it on site?
it's we can communicate with. We have K2 meters, which are EMF meters. The voice boxes, through the tape
Yeah.
recorders. We'd sit there with headphones on and listen. Put the blindfolds on and plug in to the voice box, and we'll sit there and somebody else will ask questions that we can't hear, and we'll get the answers that way.
We do get things sometime in real time over the tape recorder. Because whenever our
Yeah,
tape recorder on, our tech guy is wearing headphones, and he
yeah,
picks this up right away and lets us know,
yeah.
that somebody said something. He could hear it.
Okay. Now, have you guys ever had a physical and mental conversation with a spirit? Let's say, for an example, you're actually, Ron, you're sitting on your back porch and something manifests and you gradually, you see it, they see you. Can, are they able to, are you able to communicate with them and actually have a conversation without using any devices?
We do have them do with a candle.
Well, with a candle, we
They'll
do.
blow with a
We
candle.
do with the candle sometimes, but it's mainly, if I'm really holding a conversation one on one with them, and the digital recorder's on and I have the headphones on, yeah, I could hear, some answers. They may not be very strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like me talking to you. It's completely different. It's almost like they're talking in a box.
Right. Is it possible, guys, that someone on this planet actually had that kind of experiment or conversation one on one with a spirit? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
just as close as you guys are together. Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Uh,
Ma-
we do have one team member. He's not real active in our group. We invite him along every so often.
Mhm.
He lives in southern Florida, and he'll come and he can communicate. He's actually communicated out on my porch and told me who was here and what their names were. And I said, "You're kidding." And he had no idea who these people were. And he said their name, and I said, "You're kidding me." He says, "No, he's right here." He says, "He kind of looks like a biker." I said, "What?" And that's the name he said. And yes, he did pass away, and he was a very good friend of mine. And he said something about uh, he wanted to let you know that he wasn't happy with what his wife was doing,
Mm.
and I agreed with him. I knew what his wife was doing.
Uh oh.
So
Wow.
we ended the conversation with the guy that night, and he's done it before though on some of his several locations that we took him on hauntings, ghost investigations. And he tells us what he thinks he sees, and then we go in and try to see if our scientific instruments and our tape recorders and cameras can pick up what he feels and sees.
Interesting. Ron, can I
Now
ask
you,
you a personal question?
Hmm.
How old are you, brother?
I'm 67.
67 years old.
I'll be
Okay.
68 next month.
Well, happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, now you started seeing spirits at what age again?
Well, the first one, it was 6, almost 7.
So you actually been a part of the paranormal field for over 60 years.
Oh, yeah. Because I've seen it, as a teenager too.
Right. 60 years, man. Uh what do you think the state of paranormal investigating, what do you think the difference is between the way it was done back then and to what it is become now?
technology.
Technology,
I mean,
back,
we still use some of the old type equipments like dowsing rods and things like
Hmm.
that.
yeah.
We still use that, but I think technology has brought out so much more that it's just made it. And with TV and TV, the TV shows, it just made it so that it can be a conversation now, and
Hmm.
Mm.
where you couldn't talk about things like that back then.
Now, do you think it's better or do you think it's worse?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
some of these TV shows are giving us, as true paranormal investigators, you know,
Bad rap.
bad raps.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
ma'am. It sure
it's
has.
it's nothing like it is on TV. It really isn't. I saw this thing one time that said, what your parents think, what your friends think, what TV thinks, and then it is what you really do. And it showed a bunch of people in a room sitting there half asleep like this, and you're waiting for something to happen. And that's
Mm.
exactly what it is. You have to have a lot of patience to be able to do this.
Hmm.
You know,
Yes.
you have to do that. And I just think that um, it's become more of an open topic to where people can talk and people will listen.
Mm.
I find
Now,
it's
is
not so many skeptics anymore.
now is it a big enough topic where we can talk and people won't get heated over it? Has it come that far where people can actually do that?
Mm,
It Not with everybody. No, no, because
yeah.
there's people that I know that just will not talk about it. They don't even want us to discuss it. Uh, you know, they're completely turned off by the conversation.
Yeah.
Mm.
I have
Yeah.
one coworker that doesn't even want to hear the word ghost. You
Mm.
know,
Okay, they don't want to hear the word ghost, but they want to hear the word Holy Ghost.
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Now, now you see how you
Hmm.
can't have one without the other.
No, I
That's
actually, by accident, they did a newspaper article on the ghost walk, and they put my phone number on the front page of the newspaper. And I asked them not to do that, and they accidentally did. And when I started listening to the because my phone started blowing up, and it was people that were skeptics calling. And finally, somebody called and they said, "Call me back. I want to talk to you about the Bible. There are no
Oh
Bible
Lord.
in the ghosts in the Bible." And all I could think of was Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
yeah.
You know what?
Hmm.
What is that? So,
Yeah.
You
and
know, it's
people
it,
don't.
it's
People
it's
don't.
crazy how people try to, what's the word? It's weird how they try to use the Bible for every justification that they try to think of.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And it's a pain in the butt. But you know what? We're in the South, and that's something that we just got to deal with, man. We're in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Every
I mean,
corner down here in Florida, there's a church. They're everywhere. Even schools, Christian schools, and
and I think the Bible Belt actually starts in Texas and works its way from Texas all the way up to, I would
Tennessee,
want to say,
Kentucky, Tennessee, all that.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I would
boy,
want to say,
Yep.
I was going to say North and South Carolina and
Yep.
far up in that area,
Yep.
because those are considered southern states also for,
Mm-hmm.
for some weird reason. I don't know. But they don't seem southern to me. They seem like more of a northern, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
but
But
if,
it's
but if you go to the older cities in the South, like Savannah, you know, New Orleans, they're very into this. The
hmm
whole town is. It's unbelievable. North Carolina, there's a few places too. Gettysburg, all those places. They're really into the paranormal there.
but your state is the oldest state in the country.
Yes.
St.
So,
Augustine is the oldest city.
yeah, man. Can you? I can't even. If I was in St. Augustine and I lived in that town, dude, they couldn't keep me out of nothing because I would want to get into everything.
Oh God.
Everything.
Everything.
Underneath the streets, underneath people's houses,
I
there's
would want to
police
get into
everywhere.
everything. And when was your state founded?
Mm,
When was Bradenton founded?
well, I know Manatee County was 1843, so it had to be before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
So
is
maybe
crazy.
1700s.
When Ponce de Leon's.
I can't remember the dates. I just know on the 1600s we
Yeah.
had Spaniards.
Because Ponce de Leon's, he actually founded the island out here by us. It's called Anna Maria, and it's named after his mother. But Florida wasn't discovered yet. He
Mm,
found the island, but he never claimed this as Florida.
Yeah.
mm. Okay, how far north are you guys?
We're an hour south of Tampa.
Yeah,
Okay, now it's
Tampa's in the middle of like the Gulf Coast, and we're
okay.
we're south of that.
So you guys, that whole Caribbean influence doesn't really hit your part of the state.
Ye- Yeah, it's all beach here. It's all tourist.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's we have Anna Maria is 11 miles of shoreline, and it's
mm,
all beach.
right. Okay, so you guys had one thing I know about Florida. It's real diverse when it comes to religion and culture.
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh my God, dude! You
Yes.
go
Very.
to Southern Miami, and you're practically
In another
in the
country.
Caribbean because the Caribbean is so filtered into Southern Miami.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, and the
It's another
question that
country.
I had, yeah, the question that I have for you guys is what how does some and you guys might not experience this because you guys are a little bit far north. How does some what does some of the cultures think about, you know, paranormal, ghosts, spirits, and so on and so on? Do they embrace it in certain cultures, or they throw it out the window? They disown it. They don't care about it. They
It's,
don't wish to care about it, and so on and so on.
yeah. Some will get in your face
yeah,
and
See,
scream at you.
yeah.
Yeah. That you're a liar, and
The Native American culture embraces it
yeah.
because this was all the Native Americans where we are right now. We're here in the 1500s.
mm-hmm.
We have we have Indian burial mounds just down the road.
Yeah.
Huge mounds made out of coquina shells, and there's bodies in them. So they do embrace it. We have a local shaman. He's an Indian shaman. He's huh? Yeah, but but you have the Indian culture here. You have the Spanish culture. A lot of
They don't like it.
they don't like it. Uh, I think a lot of it has to do again with religion because they're
Mm.
mainly Catholic. Uh, Now we do have Jamaica and different islands here, and now they practice completely different. Some of them are into hoodoo, voodoo. So they kind of get into it. Uh,
Interesting. So some of the I mean, some of the islands, the Caribbean islands, they kind of practice the dark side of certain religions.
mhm.
Now, have you guys ever encountered anything like that in any of your residential investigations? Where it's something dark, but it's not dark where it's uh like demon dark. It's just dark because of the religion that practices it, and so on and so on.
Yeah, the residual effect from what they were doing is what you're feeling. When you go into those places. I think uh, I haven't run across it. You know, not at all,
I
really.
have.
Yeah.
We were in a cemetery one night, and I had two other people with us, and we were walking, and I all of a sudden felt like I hit a brick wall. I couldn't move.
Oh wow.
I mean, and I turned to them. I said, "Go ahead, I'll be right there." And they said, "No, we can't move. We just don't feel right." And all of a sudden, we had a voice box, and we heard "hide," and we all looked at each other, and it said "run." And then I turned around and said, "Something's here and doesn't want us here." And we turned around, and it said "demon." And I said, "Let's
Mm.
just get out of here. There's something here."
Yeah.
Now,
And
is it possible, guys, that spirits and sometimes uh, go off your fears? They'll tell you that something is there just to get you out of a certain location.
mhm.
It could be only because they don't want to be bothered.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have one team member that we always tell her to ask the question, and she'll always ask, "Do you want us to leave?" And she gets told. She's the only one that they'll tell leave or see ya, or she's gotten goodbye.
Yeah. At the end of the night.
So they'll tell
Mm.
you if they want you to leave.
Now, why is it that some people, you know, they go right off the back and just think, just because a spirit is grouchy or a spirit is angry, like you said, Ron, your friend who didn't like what his wife was doing, that kind of made him angry, but it doesn't make him a bad spirit.
No.
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 So why does people always say that? I don't understand that.
I always tell people, if you're an asshole in life, you're an asshole in death. Your personality does not change. You're the
Mm-mm.
same person, same personality. Um, a lot of them we find they want to be haunted by something evil. We have had experiences where people think we're going to get them on TV, just because they're, pretending they're haunted by a demon. We've had that on a couple times. It's just, I just think that they they just think if they're haunted, it's evil.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way they think. They don't understand. No, that could be a residual haunting where it's just energy built up in the house, or it could be an intelligent spirit that needs help.
Right. Now, the question, okay. Now, the question I have for you guys is, and Ron, I would love for you to answer this for me. Do you think there's politics in heaven?
Please.
No. I don't
So
think
you,
there's politics.
so you don't think there's politics in heaven?
Yeah. Well,
God, I hope not.
yeah. No, I don't think whatever you consider heaven. I don't think there's politics in there. I think
Now, do
it
you
stays
think
it stays here on Earth.
now now do you think there's rules and regulations in heaven?
I think you have to answer to yourself.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And if you, choose that, then that's what you choose. You may move on to another level. You may end up just staying right where you are. I just think that's, you have to answer to for everything you've done and answer to yourself.
Yeah. Not to
Right.
somebody. Yeah.
Interesting, because I always thought that with if there's rules and regulations, there has to be politics involved in it. Because you can't have rules and regulations without politics. I mean,
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
of those go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the way I was always told is there are certain divine entities that are above you that you have to uh, communicate with. You have to go by the rules that are going on up there. That's why every time someone asks a person that that have been to heaven, uh, and they always get the reply, "I can't tell you that." Because it's been several times when I've asked specific questions to someone that's in heaven, and I've always got that reply. I can't tell you that. We're not allowed to discuss this. Because the first thing I've always asked when I come across a medium and they've contacted loved ones that have been long ago, I've always asked them uh, very specific questions,
What's it
and they
like?
yeah, and they say I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
Do you eat? Do you listen to music? Do you have a home? They always say I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
And that makes me wonder is somebody is placed these rules so where they cannot tell you what actually it's like until you
Yep.
get here.
I
So
I don't know. I think because you have to answer to yourself, they won't, tell you because they're waiting for you to find out on your own.
that's going to be one interesting trip.
Yeah.
One
It's
interesting trip. Guys, Liz, this question is for you. What is your sole purpose in investigating the paranormal?
I just like to help people, and if I can help spirits cross over, I'll help them cross over or get a message out to someone. Right now, like on one of my ghost walks, I have a woman that was murdered, but the police deemed it as suicide, and her mom is still to this day. I mean, it's been 20 years, but
Hmm.
she is still to this day trying to prove that it was a murder. And every time we connect with her, I videotape what goes on the ghost walk and how she communicates to us. So, because I told her mom, I said, there is in history a ghost that did solve her own crime, her own murder. I said, if anything helps you, you know, I, I just want you to have it. But sometimes I can say, Sheena, your mom misses you very much. And she will have the K2 meters flash like a heartbeat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What is your success rate on crossing individuals over?
If they want to cross over, we are able to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they have
Now,
to.
yeah. Now, is crossing someone over, is that always the best thing for spirits or ghosts?
If they're
If they want to, that's the thing. Some have unfinished business.
if they're able to finish that business and we're able to help them finish that business, that's when they're able to cross over. Once they finish that business.
Okay. Now, Ron, we're gonna go back and talk about your friend. Were you able to help him finish his business, or did he re-connect with his wife? Did they get that whole situation settled?
Oh, we took care of it.
Yeah, we took care of it. Uh,
Okay.
our group did. We
Was he able to forgive her for what she's done, or
Oh yeah, he still very much loved her. It's just that she got into uh,
Black magic.
kind of like black magic,
mm,
and she started getting into it. I found out just shortly before he died, and she really changed. And he never really got a chance to tell me about it before he had a heart attack. And that's what he was doing here that night with me.
now,
It,
do you think she caused that heart attack?
it's
Possible.
it's very possible. She was very she I could tell she was studying it for a while. You know.
Mm,
She brought bad energy into our house when
Yeah,
she came to visit us.
yeah, yeah.
wow. Now, maybe you can tell the people what you guys think, but it's a difference between dark energy and light energy.
Dark is very a heavy presence. It's just depressing.
Mm-hmm.
You just feel like you got a weight on your shoulders, or and things constantly are going wrong. Electronics are messing up. Things like everything messes up. It seems like.
Hmm.
Good energy. It's light. It's easy going. You feel, you can feel it. That you're welcome. That kind of energy. When you're in a
Well,
good mood, that's the kind of way it is. And
well,
that's we
that's
always
that.
tell we
Go
always
ahead.
we always tell our investigators, if you're in a bad mood,
Don't come.
don't come to an investigation
No.
because you bring the bad energy with.
If you're sick, don't come. You know.
Yeah, man, that good energy. That sounds like me after a couple of beers.
Well,
you know,
that's your
and,
good energy.
yeah, cause I get some good sleep. You know what, guys? Let's talk about if you guys are open to this. A lot of when I bring this up, a lot of people feel uneasy when I bring this up, and a lot of people don't like to talk about it. But I would like to bring it up to see what you guys think uh, about the religion aspect of of the paranormal. Like we were talking about earlier, a lot of Catholics don't like talking about certain things.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Catholic Church has a lot to say, especially this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Especially if you guys able to watch their press conference about a month ago about you know what's going on in the world now and all the evidence that uh, paranormal investigating are presenting to the Catholic Church. And I
Hmm.
think the Catholic Church are actually starting to, I'm not going to say 100% twist the dial, but they're turning a little bit. And they
Yeah.
actually said, hey, with the evidence that we have now, we are starting to believe that there is something going on the other side. Now, do you think it's cool for the Catholic Church to say that? Or do you think there's repercussions for the Catholic Church for saying that?
I don't see nothing wrong with him saying that. I I myself think that when spirits do go to heaven, I think they can come back down anytime they want. Uh, if they see a family member in need, uh, they're able to come down and try to help them. Uh, so I think that's what they're seeing.
I think it's good and bad. I think the older Catholics aren't going to embrace it ever.
Mm. And with the older Catholics, that's old money right there.
Mhm.
That's very old money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if the Catholic Church loses some of its members, you know what's going to come next. The
Yeah.
pocketbook is not going to, nobody's going to write that check. But
Mhm.
what damage is done because the Catholic Church is probably one of the richest churches on the planet.
Oh, they
Yes.
are.
Yep.
They are, I think.
You
Yep.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I don't think they really don't care about money anymore because they got enough of it.
Yes.
Hmm.
But what they do care is their followers. They care what they think. And apparently this might be, and I'm pretty sure the Catholic Church actually spoke with somebody, and decided, hey, I think this needs to come out. I think this needs to be said, and I think this needs to be done. So
And it's strange because they're so big on exorcisms.
Yeah, they
You
know it
know.
exists.
So
They perform the exorcisms. They have for what,
yes,
centuries.
for
Yeah.
centuries.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like I always tell people, the Catholic Church was dabbling in this way before this country was even founded.
Yep.
Hmm.
And I can probably say that the Catholic Church was probably doing this uh, before, man, way before the Dark Ages in
Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they you know
Yep. I think so.
they didn't like paganism. They thought that was evil. They thought they were witches. You know, it wasn't. They're more like a religion. The way I look at it,
Hmm.
they're not witches.
Exactly.
It was a it was a religion in Europe.
Yeah.
So,
And
I, so all three of us, we can agree to this: is if it wasn't for the Catholic Church, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today. Can we all agree on that?
hmm
Yeah.
I mean, because the Catholic Church, whenever they just, they ever get the beeline in, it's like, oh, something's going on here, something's going on there.
yeah.
They will send a friar or they will send somebody out to investigate. Now, they would be called something else back then, but in today's age, they would be called a paranormal investigator.
Yep.
So
It's
these
correct.
guys, and it's great because they set the foundation for what we do today. So I am actually glad that they're actually stepping up and acknowledging what we've been saying since day one.
Yep.
Yep.
It's time for
You know
them.
what I'm saying? How much does it take before, you know, we slap them up in the back of the head and say, hey, this is really going on, guys. You really need to pay attention. You really need to understand this, because tell me, how can 30 million paranormal investigators be wrong on some of the proven fact evidence
Oh yeah.
that we have presented? And just trust me, some of it's fake, but how much of it is fake? There's more real than fake.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's maybe that's what tipped the cup over and it starts spilling. So they have to say something,
They did.
or maybe
Yeah.
it was something more. I don't know.
I mean, we've convinced a lot of people in our area with just a few things that we caught, not a whole bunch of things, just a few, because you can't debunk it.
Mm-mm.
It's yes, it's there. You see it, and it's gotten Liz well known through this area because of all of that.
I
Mm.
always say everything's made of energy, including us. Energy that never dies. So where do you go? That's your
Good
soul.
question.
It has to go somewhere. Sometimes it stays here. Sometimes you build up the energy in your home. Sometimes you just go on.
Mm-hmm.
And you move
Hmm.
on to your next life or next level of life.
Right. Now, Ron, what is, I've asked Liz, what is your purpose on being a paranormal investigator? What do you want to achieve out of this?
I want to achieve. I like helping people, and I've done it through this. I proved to them that they weren't haunted, that it was high EMFs. And they didn't need that medicine that the VA was giving them.
Hmm.
We've ran into several cases like that, and their location where they're at is the EMFs were just
Off the charts.
off the charts, and the last place, it was because it was built in the early 20s. It's on the water. And when I went there to the place, we always scope it out first inside with digital EMF meters.
Hmm.
And it was just skyrocketing.
Oh, wow.
I
And
mean, we're talking
no matter
in
where,
the hundreds.
in the hundreds, no matter where we went, on the bed, it was one time over 300 walking into the bathroom. And
Wow.
I started taking off electrical plates. Come to find out, it had the original wiring from 1920, the oil soaked cable, eh, and they were burnt. And
Mm.
he just bought this place. And I said, you need to call your condo and get him here now, the next day. And he did. They rewired his house.
Oh, I bet you it cost him an arm and a leg.
Not him. It cost them. It cost the condo. And they probably have to rewire the whole building, you know.
Oh, yeah,
So
probably.
yeah. And but he's doing fine. I talked to him. He says everything's good. I don't have to take no medicine. The EMFs are low now, so I'm not hallucinating. That's what he was doing. He was hallucinating.
Now, the biggest thing is because you brought up a valid point, Ron, when you mentioned medicine and hallucinant drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you guys take any kind of, prescription medication?
Nope.
I mean, I do.
I,
Uh,
Yeah, you do.
well, I take blood thinners.
yeah, but the thing is, do we know what's in those things? What the pharmaceuticals are making them with?
No.
No, I really never looked into it. No.
Now, okay, I mean, you really have to think about this because as we get older, our minds slip.
Mm-hmm.
So as we start to age, a lot of people go through this. They see things more when they're older, and but yet we've got a bottle of all these medications, and not knowing what the pharmaceuticals are putting in this stuff. It
Mm-hmm.
can be some kind of uh, something. It might not be much. It might be like 2% of something that might make you hesitant. Hesitant. It might make you see things. It might have you some kind of hallucinations. We really don't know what these pharmaceuticals are made. The worst thing over the counter. Do you know what the worst thing over the counter is? Cold medicine.
Oh yeah.
Now, do we even know? Now we do know there's alcohol in cold medicine, but
Mhm.
what else is in it?
Well,
Yeah,
I
that's
know
it.
some of the cold medicine down here, even though it's over the counter, you have to sign a paper stating that you're taking this and show them your driver's license.
Yeah. When did they start doing that unless somebody or some company is putting stuff in there they ain't
It's
got no business doing?
it's because meth dealers buy cold medicines to make the meth. It's a part of their
Yeah,
recipe is cold
it,
medicines,
cold medicine.
and that's why they're having you show your driver's license and
Yeah.
that.
That's crazy.
They cook the cold medicine down with other stuff, and you have meth.
Dude, we never would even heard of that 20 years ago.
No.
No. No, people are doing it in the back of the trunks of their car.
Dude, I was doing other things in the back seat of the trunk of my car. Why? There's I don't even want to get in. Yeah, man, that's crazy. But
That's
guys,
another time.
yeah, hey, you know what, man? If I was to come to Florida and I wanted to hang out with you guys, where is some of the locations you would guys would take me?
Oh God.
uh, well, a place that we just visited, I would take you to. I think you would find it fascinating. It's a place called Ybor City. This is where the Cubans, when they first came, the first cigar factory,
Hmm.
and also the first Colombian restaurant, which it's 100 years old. Uh, and it's a very popular restaurant. The whole town is historical. We just did a ghost tour of the town, and the streets are lined with bricks. All the
Oh
buildings are,
wow, cool,
yeah. They even have a trolley car, and it'll
really
take you to
cool.
downtown Tampa. But that's one of the places. Uh,
I'd take you, keep you in Bradenton, and probably take you to John Ringley's, the circus people.
yeah,
Hmm.
We're the only paranormal group in the world that's been able to investigate all of the places on that block, and we're going to keep that record because one of the houses have been condemned, so no one
Oh
can come
wow.
in now. So that's kind of neat. But it's got Paul Crosley, it has Ralph Capels, it has John Ringley, Charles Ringley. You know,
their mansions
their
are there.
mansions are still there. They're still using them.
They're side by side.
Yeah.
Interesting. Does the circus still run?
Yes, yes, but now it's not with animals.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Yeah, it's good. All people.
Yeah, it's they use circus people doing acts.
So no more animals. So you
No,
won't see an elephant, a
no,
tiger, or
no,
none of that stuff.
not in any circus.
It's not like the Ringley Circus.
Yeah, it's not like the old circus from long ago, you know. But
Well,
if you
that's the
go,
reason why I came. That's the reason why people went to circus because they wanted to see
They said it
the
was
animals.
it was cruelty to
yeah,
animals.
cruelty to the animals, but they're still pretty big. Sarasota they still have a circus performance that they do in Sarasota, but they travel all over the world from Sarasota. This is the circus capital of the world, really. Uh,
Now, what about some of the old slave ports that are in Florida? Are they
Oh,
still there?
yeah,
yes,
we can take you to Gamble Plantation for that.
Campbell Plantation is just right down the road.
Is it as active as people say it is?
It's active.
It's
It's actually the slave area has actually been sold off, and other
Mm-hmm.
things are on there.
yeah,
And we have a woman and her son that own a couple restaurants, and that one of them is on the property of where the slaves were,
yeah,
and they are very active.
yeah.
Their place is extremely active.
Mhm.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
Now, guys, you guys have been investigating. I'm not going to say 14 years because to me, it's been a lot longer because you guys have
Yeah,
experienced things. So I'm going to say your entire life.
just about.
You know,
almost, yeah.
yeah, entire life. So, uh, one of the biggest questions that I've asked people is has something to do with Native Americans. You guys are deep in Native American culture. You got burial grounds. There's probably a couple of reservations around. Reservations. Yeah, there's probably a couple
Well, the Seminoles.
hollow grounds
There's a lot of gambling.
that are
The
around.
Sem the Seminoles.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make their money.
Yeah.
But guys, a lot of people. There's a lot of talk about skinwalkers.
Hmm.
And I am one of the biggest skeptic of skinwalkers. And
Yeah, me too.
I cannot explain them, but is it possible that skinwalkers are not affiliated with Native Americans? What do you think, Ron?
Uh, Skinwalkers, shapeshifters, whatever you want to call them. Uh, I think they started, many, many years ago. They may have seen them, but now I think there's a lot of cryptids. You know, Uh, they say Bigfoot is a shapeshifter. That he could that he's an alien and he turns into Bigfoot. You don't see the real alien. Uh, there's, I, I think, like go out west where they see skinwalkers and what have you. That's just part of the Native American culture. That's something they were brought up with, and they've passed it down. And now we're hearing the stories, and people are saying they're seeing shapeshifters that aren't Native American. They're. I find it kind of hard to believe. I do
Mm.
myself. I've never really seen anything like that. It's kind of hard to imagine something changing a physical form. Uh, I find that hard to imagine.
Yeah, I do too, especially when there's a video out, guys, where there's a family outside in their backyard. And I think this was up in Kentucky, if I'm right, somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains. And they were just messing around in the backyard, and apparently a skinwalker came out of the woods and just started chasing them.
Yeah,
Now, this skinwalker ran like a monkey. You know how a monkey runs? They get that gallop, then they mess with their arms and they do
yep.
like that. And I'm like, dude, who in the hell let this monkey out into the wild like this? Because that's the first thing that I thought.
I think I've seen that video. Yeah, and it's kind of like charging them, and it's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It does. It
Yeah.
does look like a monkey. I think I've seen that. I said the
And and the first thing the first, me as who I am, the first thing I would have said, I mean, I would have picked up something and hit this thing with it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just me. I'm one of those guys where if it's something that really petrified me, then I will understand. I will run. But if it's somebody that I know and I'm looking, and the first thing I'm gonna do is get my family in the house.
Hmm.
But as a man, we always got something by the door.
Yeah.
Always. If it's not a baseball bat, it's a shotgun. There's always something by the back door for the what if. Now, uh, in my instance, it's not going to be a what if. It's going to be what was. You know what I'm saying? What
yeah.
was that thing that you hit with that baseball bat?
Hmm.
Or what was that thing you shot on the back porch? You
Mhm.
know, uh, why is it so many people have seen this thing, but nobody have seen to want to capture it or want to, if you feel threatened, want to take a swing at it or want to do something that want to get this thing off of you? I don't understand.
I don't either. It's like Bigfoot. Why isn't anybody, caught anything of him? They're always out there with guns and everything. How come nobody's shot Bigfoot yet?
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This stuff don't happen in the hood. Where I come from, there are no skinwalkers.
Yeah. It's
No,
the same
If
here.
no.
he's going to be in danger, we're going to chase him. He's not going to chase us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
like, all this video, nobody even thought about just turning around and asking a question, especially when there's a multitude of people that
Hmm.
this thing is chasing. Why not just circle it? Hey, what's up, brother? How
Yeah.
you? I mean, why are you chasing us? Why are you doing this? It's
Yep.
got to be some kind, communication. Hey, dude,
Yep. That's
if
true.
you want a beer, you don't have to run. Hell, the ice chest is right there.
Yeah.
Just that simple.
Yep.
You know what
That
I'm
is.
saying? And because that's how we learn. That's how we, able to communicate with things if we don't stop and want to communicate with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are very curious people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Humans are very curious. That's just the way we are, you
Hmm.
know. And so having that saying that skinwalkers are heavily affiliated with Indians, I don't see the proofs there.
I I don't either.
Mm-mm.
Uh, I was in Oklahoma for a couple of years, and I worked in the oil field, and we drilled on Indian property. It was where they took the Seven Nations when they did the Trail of Tears, and it was their land. And they'd come and talk to us out on the rig, and no one ever mentioned Skinwalker. I've been to powwows, never anybody say anything about Skinwalker, and that's in Oklahoma around all those Indians. You know, that was Anadarko, Oklahoma,
Mm.
right off the Brazos River, uh, and the Arbuckle Mountains, what they call mountains.
Yeah,
Yes.
we call them hills, but they
Yeah,
call them mountains.
that's what our garbage landfills look like here.
Yeah, but yeah, they're hills. But I mean, I don't want to step on anybody's shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's always that possibility of the Native Americans that could be the case,
Hmm.
but I really don't know. But do anybody know? The Native Americans don't speak of it.
No, and they don't like to, I guess. So,
No,
I don't think they like to mention it much.
I don't think so either, Ron. Because if they did, me and you wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Everything would be laid to rest.
Hmm.
No problems. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's one of those things that make you say, make you think, make you wonder, you
Yeah.
know, uh, or it could be just a naked man. I mean, I don't know. No skinwalker I ever known or I've ever seen really had clothes on. Did they? They never had clothes on,
Yeah. That's
dude.
what I hear too. Maybe the Native Americans, they used a lot of chemicals. You know, poppies. What do you call it? Uh, Poppy seeds and not poppy seeds.
Hey, and
They
they
used a
did.
lot of plant chemicals, and it would cause hallucinations. You
Yeah,
know.
hey, that was the good stuff back then.
Well, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know what they're doing today.
yeah, yeah. I don't either.
I don't know what they're doing today. But man, I got two more questions for you guys, and I am going to get you guys out of here. And the one,
Liz will be right back. Our daughter just had surgery last night. She had to run some ice to her for her shoulder.
oh, okay,
She's coming right back.
all right.
Yeah.
Uh, now, are they? Tell me just a couple of names of your urban legends that Florida has. And would you ever go and investigate an urban legend?
Uh, yeah, I would. Uh, we have a thing called Devil's Chair here. That's an urban legend. Uh, it's on the east side of Florida. It's supposed to be the devil's chair, and a lot of people go there and investigate it. I've never been there. I wouldn't mind going there. Uh, we have an urban legend out on our beach about uh, a bride that was going to get married. Liz knows the story because she actually tells the story. But the bride husband went out to go fishing,
Mm-hmm.
and he never came back. And they say she still walks the beach, and she goes into the same hotel, area, and people see her quite a bit. And then we have another man on the island on the other end. He's called the Man in Black, and he walks a beach area on the north end of Anna Maria,
So
or the south end. Yeah, the south end. And but there's a lot of urban legends. Liz knows a lot of them, and
Well,
local ones, because
that
she
Emma,
tells the stories.
that man in black, hell, he might work for the government. You really don't know about that one.
police told me to add that story because they see him all the time.
Yeah,
Interesting.
the island police. Yeah, and they
They
said
don't go up and bother him and mess with him, or they just as scared.
yeah.
They're scared.
She does ask a lot of the local first responders. She asks them for their ghost story,
Anywhere I go.
and she gets a lot of response from them.
Now, would you think that public servants, do you think their stories are really valid
Mm-hmm.
The
on
ones
some of
that
the things?
the
Go
ones that
ahead.
we've heard, yeah,
From the police, the fire department, yeah, I believe those. Yeah.
Interesting. You know what? I would most so believe a medical tech, a
hmm
nurse, a
Mm-hmm.
doctor before I believe a police officer, because the medical field is in a more controlled environment. They're used to dealing with death and used to seeing it, so they will have a little bit more validation than a police officer
hmm
that's, you know, possibly kids got a bonfire in the back of somewhere. It's give and take on those guys. All right. Hey, two more questions and I'm going to get you guys out of here. It's been a very interesting conversation. But Liz,
Mm-hmm.
how long you been married to Ron?
Too long.
What, 20 years, 30 years,
Well, the
40
day.
years, 50 years,
No, 39.
39 years.
yeah. We've been
We- we-
together though a little over 40.
40 years, man. How has the relationship been for you guys?
It's rough at times,
Just like
but
any other,
yeah, yeah, it's
but
just
the relationship has been great.
yeah.
You guys wouldn't trade each other for nobody else, would you?
No, no, she
No.
takes care of so well.
That's what I'm talking about. I was that,
Look at her. She's
well, this one here is a doozy. The story I'm about to tell you. I've been married for 33 years. I got married when I was 20 to one woman. That one woman gave me three beautiful boys,
Wow.
and I'm so proud of every last one of them.
yep.
They're not in the streets. They're doing the right thing. They're working hard. They are the men that I raised them to be. So when she left me last year, I was heartbroken because I thought she left me alone. And I didn't have nobody to argue with, to come home to. And what's so crazy about it, Ron? I knew she was gone, but every day I got off of work, I rushed home. My heart was beeping so fast because I wanted to get home to an empty house.
Hmm.
And I'm still like that today. I cannot wait to get home to because I'm thinking she's still there and she's still there smiling at me when I walk through that door, or she say something crazy like, "Where's my Dr. Pepper at?"
Yeah, yeah.
But it was an unbelievable journey when I was with her, and there's nothing else that I can say. I mean, she did everything for me, and I'm not saying that our marriage was perfect because it wasn't. But when we had good times, we had good bad times, and when we had bad brawls, when we had fights up all night. But one thing is, she never laid hands on me, and I never laid hands on her. And we tried not to go to sleep angry at each other,
Hmm.
but sometimes we do. And that's just the way we are. We're humans. So with that said, Liz, what kind of man is Ron? Oh my God. She, okay. Ron, you're in trouble because
I know I am.
she's still laughing.
Yeah.
Okay, his T-shirt says it all.
Last responder. I dig that one. Okay. Now, okay, Liz, when Ron has something on his mind, heavy, how does he respond to it?
Mm, he's a little grouchy.
A little grouchy.
Yeah.
Now, when he has something on his mind, and does he sleep heavy, or does he stay up all night trying to figure what's going on?
Oh no, he goes to sleep.
So when he sleeps hard.
No problem sleeping.
No problem sleeping. Okay, Ron, here's the story. One day you're driving, and have you ever seen a light that comes from the road? It's like an everyday traffic light or everyday light, but it hits you right here. And it gives you this certain amount of knowledge, and it gives you this certain amount of pressure on your head, something that you need to get off, something you need. It's like a tire that's been over pressurized, and you need to release it. So you want to hit that stem and just release that pressure slowly. So something like that happened to you, and you come home, and Liz notices, because y'all been together for so long, she noticed everything about you.
Hmm.
You come home, and what is your nickname when she calls you? With the first day when you get off of work, what is the name? There's so many different names. Babe, honey, sugar,
Ron.
daddy. What do he call you?
Ron.
Ron. Okay, well, we're
But
gonna
she,
go with Ron. And okay, and you notice that Ron has this something on his mind, but Ron
Mhm.
doesn't know. Ron does it, and you ask him. But if Ron don't know, that means he can't give you the answer that you want to hear. So he's going to tell you, "I don't know." So Ron is a little stressed out. So, but you know what? He gets off of work, he eats, he goes through his routine, and he goes to bed. When he sleeps hard,
Hmm.
but because he has something he needs to get off his mind. Okay, now when Ron gets up in the mornings, he goes through his usual Ron routine, which
Yep.
was get up, drink some coffee,
Yep.
maybe, then go potty.
Yep.
But Ron was in the potty a little longer than usual. So you go knock on the door, and you're like, "Ron, you okay?" And you're like, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm just sitting here thinking." Just like any other man, that trust me, that's my favorite place to go when I want some peace and quiet. I go straight to the bathroom and sit there for hours. But Ron, today is a Saturday, and I know you guys don't have basements in Florida, so you have a garage, correct?
A garage, and I have like a Florida room. It's out back. It's all screened.
Well, we're going to use the garage because we
Okay.
don't want to tear up the Florida room
Okay.
for what you're about to do. So you get up out, you leave the toilet and you go and you still have this on your mind. So you tell Liz, hey, I'll be back. I'm going to go to Home Depot. So you get up and go to Home Depot and you come back and you grab a light switch. You don't know why you grabbed that light switch, but you did. So are you a big tool man? Do you have a lot of tools?
I used to.
Okay, so you go grab all your tools out your truck or out of the garage, and you just start and you start releasing energy. That's how I call it, releasing energy. So you go and you start click clink banging things, doing this, doing that, and you went and grabbed that light socket and you put it on the box, and you make a box probably no bigger than this, very small box, but on the side it has a light switch you able to cut on and cut off. So Liz comes out of into the uh, garage, and it's late in the day. Liz, what time you start cook dinner? Uh oh. Okay. Okay.
Well, he eats out for breakfast and lunch, so half the time he's not hungry for dinner.
Oh
So
well. Okay. Well, today it's a Saturday, so you have to cook dinner. So, but today you're gonna cook spaghetti, and this spaghetti. Do you like cooking spaghetti?
yeah.
Okay. Have you ever cooked oven spaghetti?
Hmm.
Okay, so you're gonna cook oven spaghetti. While Ron is in the garage, you're cooking spaghetti. So you come out, and Ron looks at you. He looks relieved. Same thing that he's doing right now. He's like, "Man, what is this? I'm trying to figure out what this is I just built." So you go down in the garage and you looking at it, you're like, what the hell is this, Ron? Ron said, I don't know. I don't know what this is. And you pick it up. It's an interesting device. So, you know, but Liz, you notice that switch that Ron built on the side of it. Ron, do you like to play pool?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, well, you got a pool table in your garage.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. It just pops up from now and then. You got this pool table, and the garage door is already down. So Liz looks over there and she hits that switch, and it turns on, and the hair on your arms stood up because whatever this device is, it it emits some electricity.
Hmm.
So you're looking, she's like, Liz, what the heck did I just build? And it shot a beam straight to the garage door, but it didn't shoot through the door. And once it hit the door, it bounced back and it expanded. So you're able to see. And, you and Liz, you guys are looking, and as you guys were looking through it, you guys can see everyday life going on. You guys can see people walking, driving, uh, shopping. You see, there's a Macy's over there, Starbucks over here, KFC around the corner, and there's a Circle K right there. You go in there and get you a drink for 79 cents if you want. You know what I'm saying? So you go, like, what the hell, Ron? What did you do now? And Ron said, I don't know. So, but s- someone catches Ron's eye because he sees people, but someone sees Ron, and they're like, "Hi, Ron, how you doing, buddy? I missed you." And they just waving at him. So they're like, "I'll be there in a minute." So they start walking towards you, and they leaped in, and they went up to Ron and gave Ron a big old hug and said, "Hey, buddy, I missed you. How you doing, man? Hey, the family's doing well, blah blah blah." And Ron does not have a clue. He kind of, but he doesn't. Have you ever been around family that you don't know really is family, but really is family? Because you get that certain feeling that they're family. So Ron was like, "Who is this lady?" And you know, you kind of have an idea on who it is. But they went up and gave you a hug, Ron, and they know you too, Liz. Like, "Hey, Liz, how you doing? Man, it's finally so great to meet you. Hey, you are the greatest." But they more focused on Ron because Ron is family. Ron, this is your great, 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 great grandmother, the one you didn't see, the one that set this whole thing off in your family.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, and Liz, you give her a big hug and say, "Well, I'm gonna let you guys talk." So you go back up and finish cooking the spaghetti that's in the oven. It's not much to do, just watch it, right?
Yeah.
So, but you wanted to give them some quality time. So, you guys sat down, Ron, and y'all talked for hours. And you telling her, and she's telling you that the family is great. She's telling you about people that you've never met and all the compliments, I mean, all the accomplishments that they've done that made your family name such, the way that it is today, and all these great things that your family has done that you don't know nothing about. But finally, time has come. It's like, "Oh man, I got to get home and cook dinner for Grandpa." So she gives you a big fat kiss and say, "Hey, I'll see you soon." Jumps back into the portal, waves her hands, say, "I love you, Ron," and walks off. By that time, you shut this thing off and you leave it there, and you're just as puzzled because you just spent time with somebody that's been dead long, 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 long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And you're
interesting.
like, and you're like, "Wow, I just spoke to my grandmother 4 generations back." The biggest question that I have for you is, Ron, is what would you do with such a device?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Probably obtain knowledge through that device
Hmm.
by meeting those people.
Okay. Now you do know that it was only meant for you.
Mm-hmm.
So would you share this technology with the world, or would you keep it for yourself?
I'd share my knowledge with the world.
Sounds like a plan.
Interesting. Hmm. Liz, would you allow Ron to open Pandora box and let him share that technology with the world?
I don't know. I don't know if the world would be ready for something like that.
Interesting. But ultimately, it's up to Ron if he wants to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ron, okay, let's say for an example that you did share this with the world. How do you think the world would react to such a device with that much power and that much capability?
I don't know. Hopefully, maybe they find out more about themselves. You know, their past. Uh, kids aren't taught things like we were when we were in school.
But the only problem is you built it just for you. It can't be patented. It can't be
Mhm.
duplicated. It can't be retroplated. It can't be no kind of plated. It was only built for you.
Right?
People might not even believe it.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't believe what I was talking about, but I would like to, share the knowledge still.
Okay, let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Let's say Liz, let's say you allow Ron to share this technology with the world. Now, knowing what this box can do and what you guys have seen in the box and the people you have spoken with that came out that box. Now, is the world ready for something like that? Maybe not. But how do you think the religious aspect to it? How you think that would react to it?
I don't think it would go over very well.
I think they would think of it as evil,
Yeah.
as something that would bring evil or demonicness into the world.
Great answer. Now, with that being said, you would think that religion would cease to exist on this planet. You know what I'm saying? For the
Mhm.
simple fact is, Ron holds the key to everything, all the knowledge, everything every religion on this planet have talked about. Ron can validate everything. And with that said, religion will crumble, they will fall.
Yeah,
Hmm.
And if you don't have religion, you don't have a state of mind. If you don't have a state of mind, your mind would wander. Now, once your mind wanders, chaos will consume the planet. The planet would not be known as what it is today. I mean, there's chaos going on now, but if you take the religion aspect out of that, the world will be flipped upside down. At least with religion, there's some kind of law and order to everything that binds us. But without that, hell, I've seen countries fight for far less than religion.
yeah.
I've seen one fight for over a woman. If you guys, I forgot the name of that damn movie. Uh, Achilles went to fight over a Greek's wife that wasn't even his wife.
Hmm.
So if they can do that, can you imagine how if there was no religion on this planet?
Yeah, it would be rough because religion does run the world. There's so many different religion. There's different religion for every country. It seems like,
Mm-hmm.
and that is, and like you say, that's the law. That's they make the rules, and then from the rules they get
Beliefs
laws,
and the beliefs.
and the beliefs. Yeah,
So wouldn't we all three agree that this device needs to be put on your shelf until mankind is ready for such a device?
yeah, I would
Yes.
say so. Yes.
Now, in your own words, since you built the device, Ron, how long is long enough?
Uh,
I don't think ever.
Probably never. It'd probably be, put away on a shelf for a long time. More than my lifetime, because
Mm,
it's not gonna change in my lifetime.
no,
No.
no. It won't change your mind.
No.
I don't think it ever will.
It won't never change your mind. It
Uh,
always go back to humans. We're curious creatures. What we don't know and what we don't understand, we want to know and we want to understand it. So, damn, Ron, you didn't even offer me one, man. What's up?
I had to do something. My mouth was getting parched.
Yeah. So, man, yeah, I think, I think putting on this shelf would be the best thing to do for humanity. Now, people say, I mean, some individuals say is humanity is the problem, but there are people in the world that can understand and might be able to, uh, you know, understand what and deal with what Ron has built. But humanity would never. People will, some, but humanity was not. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So, Liz, I'm glad you're there because if not, Ron would have put that thing out and it would have been all hell. So I'm glad you got it back. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, one last question.
Okay.
And Liz, this is a hard one,
Oh God.
really hard. And I'm trying to figure out how can I put this to you. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Where would you like to go on your bucket list to investigate anywhere in the world?
Oh God. Anywhere in the world?
Anywhere, my friend.
Probably Ireland.
Mm,
A lot of castles. A lot of damp old castles there.
a lot of old castles. Is that the only place you would go?
Now, I
Where
mean,
else would you
if
like
I
to
was,
go, my friend?
if I'd like to go to London too, check out
Okay.
that.
London be an interesting place.
Hmm.
Mhm.
But if I had to pick something in the United States, I'd have to say Gettysburg or Eastern Penitentiary, Eastern State
Mm,
Penitentiary.
only if it's free.
I know. I know.
Only if it's free. I
Yeah,
mean, I think these places that charge an extremely lot of money, it's really crazy,
it
you know.
is.
But
Yeah.
okay, Ron, same question. Where would you like to go on your bucket list, sir?
Transylvania, Dracula's
Transylvania?
castle, uh, that era, back there. Uh, I like castles. I really do.
Hell,
Castles, old homes, they really attract me. So
hell, can I go with you? Yeah, I'll feel
oh
right
yeah,
at home.
yeah. And then you got the lost woods or the haunted woods in Transylvania.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel at home then.
Yeah, yeah. That's supposed to be pretty spooky too.
Now, can we camp out?
Oh sure, why not?
Ron, I don't want you to run. I don't know if I
Well,
can catch you with my bad knees.
you ain't gonna see me running. I can barely walk, let alone run.
My knees are bad. I don't know if I can skip after you, but hey,
You be running after my wheelchair. That's-
well, if that's the case, you
Why would
stuck.
you're there to investigate. Why would you run?
yeah, yeah. We
Well,
don't.
That's why
exactly.
I
We
would
don't
say,
run. Now we might skip away, but we're not gonna run away.
No, no, no.
All right, guys. Well, you know what? Hey, it has been a pleasure speaking with you guys. You guys have really
Yeah.
made me laugh. Hey, and great conversation. I really appreciate it. You guys actually coming on the show. And I told you it's going to be a little bit different from any other podcast you guys have been on.
Yes, it
You know,
was.
yeah.
Yes, it was.
But it's interesting.
very.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
can she publicize one thing?
Sure.
Go
What?
ahead.
Oh, my book. You see it?
Oh, yes.
Haunted.
Manatee County.
Yeah.
That's where we live. Yeah.
Yep. I wrote a book, and then
Wow.
I also write for a magazine, local magazine.
And then how long did it take you to write that book?
About a year and a half.
Well, we're gonna put that thing on the bestsellers list.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure you get some money out of this.
I want to be able to retire and buy a Winnebago and go.
There you go. Hey, the only thing I'm asking for is some milk and zingers.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
Zingers.
the only thing I've asked for. So I like the chocolate and the yellow. I don't care about the strawberry or
You
whatever.
don't like the raspberry or strawberry?
No, I don't like the raspberry. I don't care for that.
I do. I like that.
Well, we'll
that.
swing through Texas on our way, and
Well, Sue, come on down. Come on down. I hope come in the wintertime.
I lived there.
Because we wouldn't. Oh man, the summertime. It's just how long did you live here?
About 6 years. I moved from Minnesota in my last 2 years of high school and graduated from Berkner.
What part of Texas?
Richardson, right outside of Dallas.
Oh man, I'm down south.
Yeah, I know you are further down.
Yeah, boy, it gets hot down here, man. Hey,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and you guys know what happened to chocolate in the heat.
Oh, God.
It melts, so you already know. So
yeah, white chocolate.
There you go.
Really?
It all melts.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, hey, tell the world how to get a hold of you guys if they ever want to come to Florida and investigate with you guys.
Oh, just look up Paranormal Society of Bradenton, Florida. You can Google it. You can look up on Facebook or YouTube, TikTok, all of those.
Or better yet, do what I did. I just called them.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
or call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some people always put their emails out there. But damn, dude, how many emails do people get a day? Hundreds.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because unless you are constantly looking through your emails, it's a good chance you will skip right over it.
Yep.
She usually tells people to look up downtown Bradenton Ghost Walk, and the phone number goes directly to her.
There you go. Or this number here goes straight to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, guys, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. I appreciate the conversation. It's been a great one. And I will be contacting you guys in 2 months just to check up on you guys to see how you guys are doing. If anything has changed within the structure of your paranormal team, something good. Hey, if it's something good, I got to have you back on the show.
Well, we are fixing to investigate a 93-acre cemetery.
A 93 acre?
Yep.
Okay.
It's got 2 lakes on it.
93 acres. Yep.
Oh my
Might take
God.
more than one night.
Yes, it will. It's going to take more than one night.
Yeah.
They invited us.
Yeah.
Wow, I wish I can be there. 93 acres is practically this whole town.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
This is pretty big. I forgot how many oak trees they said, full-size oak trees they have on the property.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys believe that theory about oak trees?
What's that theory you got?
That there is a grave around every oak tree.
No.
No, but probably in this cemetery, I forgot how many bodies. I think they said something like 15,000 bodies are buried there.
Wow. But for some reason, when slaves were buried, they were always buried under an oak tree.
Yeah.
Okay. We have been to a segregated cemetery.
There's a lot of
and it's very interesting because they made their own tombstones too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't have a we didn't have a choice.
They would take a stick and write on it.
Yeah.
And that's how they did it.
Yeah, the brothers didn't have a choice back then, man. We had to do what we had to do.
Yeah.
to get our family where they had to be. It was just one of those things. But guys, it has been a pleasure speaking with you, Ron. Please stay out of trouble.
I'm going to try.
And making no more devices, man. Please, no more
No.
devices. You
No.
know, Liz, if he even starts doing something weird, you call me.
Okay.
Okay, it was nice talking
Okay.
to you,
Yes,
I'll
Jerry.
be
sir.
talking to you in about 5 minutes.
All right, guys. Hey, this is Terry with NSPS TV with Ron and Liz Reed, man, from Paranormal Society of Bradenton, Florida. Hey, guys, go check them out, man. If you guys are ever in Florida, go support them. Make sure you get those likes, subscribes, whatever platform you guys are on. Let's make sure you guys go support these guys, man, because they're doing great things. But in the meantime, I got to go, and I will see you guys soon. Peace. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, guys. Well, hey, see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Peace.